This is Lee Anderson's Guide to Young People.
Okay, we're going to move on to a different subject now. This week we've got A-level results, lots of happy people going off to uni, some not so happy, Steve, Vince, but also I guess we've got two categories of young people. We've got the ones that's going to go on to apprenticeships, going to go to university, and then we see the other group of young people in the news this week that think it's a good idea to take as many paracetamols as possible to see how sick they can get and go into hospital.
So here we see the two categories that young people fit into in Lee Anderson's worldview. Vince Cable tries to argue that there isn't just these two groups, but to no avail.
Vince, what's going on in society with this?
Well, I don't think there are two different groups of young people. I think we just accept that kids of that age have been really messed around in recent years, you know, with the pandemic. I mean, I've had, you know, grandchildren who've been through this and who are, you know, very upset by it.
I think there are two groups of young people in this country.
Let's remind ourselves of those groups again that young people are split into. Students and apprentices in one group, and in the other, those who take as many paracetamol as possible.
There's other young people that's doing these silly things that, you know, sometimes I hear people say to me, well, there's not enough youth clubs, there's not enough sports clubs, there's not enough this and that, and government needs to invest more money in local facilities, but surely at some stage parents have to take some responsibility.
Okay, well, we have the two core groups that Anderson feels young people fit into, but is there any more information we can gather from his TV show that will expand this belief? Well, take a look at this.
In our universities, there are a certain group of people who are trying to influence and indoctrinate our young people.
Tell me more.
And this happened with my son about 10 years ago. He went to uni, he went to Sheffield. And I didn't see him for months. He came back, you know, many, many months later, and he came back different. He'd got long hair, he'd got a beard, his clothes were different, a different attitude, different outlook on life. And I thought, my goodness, Harry, what's happened to you? He says, Dad, he sat down with me on the settee, he put his arm on my hand. He says, Dad, I've been away for a few months now, and I've come back, and I'm not the Harry that went away all those months ago. I'm different now, I'm a different person. I've found out who I actually am. And he held my hand, looked into my eyes, and says, Dad, I've got to tell you something about myself. He says, I am. And I thought, Harry, just get on with it. You know, you're my son, I love you, whatever you are. He says, Dad, I'm a vegetarian. Shocking.
So we have this crossover with students and vegetarians, but at the moment we're unclear as to whether or not young people who take as many paracetamol as possible could also be vegetarian. But rest assured, we are trawling through Anderson's shows to expand on his overall view of young people. Stay tuned.
Absolute shocking. Let that be a warning to you.
Click here with another video of Anderson.